Rico Abreu, Cap Henry, Corey Eliason, Kerry Madsen, Kevin Thomas Jr., Tyler Courtney, Kyle Larson, Justin Peck, Brady Bacon, Buddy Kofoid, your top 10. Kofoid going for an extra 10 grand. Rico and Kyle going for a championship. A top 6 does it for Larson. Rico wants to keep him honest. He's on the front row with Cap Henry. And for the final time in the 2023 season, the High Limit Sprint Car Series is green.
Good jump by Rico. He gets out on the field as they race into turn number 2. Cap Henry right on his bumper down the back chute. Now Kerry Madsen. He'll challenge Corey Eliason for the 3rd spot. Tyler Courtney right there in 5th.
Abreu going to lead lap number 1. Cap Henry to 2nd. Battle for 3rd. Kerry Madsen inside of Corey Eliason with Henry there in the mix as well. Top 3 here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I should say, all right together.
Kerry Madsen looking sporty tonight. Looks to the inside now of Henry. Down the front straightaway. Battle for 2nd. Here comes the Madman down to the inside. By side off of turn number 2. Kerry Madsen now up in the 2nd.
Good move from Madsen. Watching Larson back in the pack. He's fallen out of this top 6. He runs 8th right now behind Justin Peck. Kevin Thomas Jr. has that 6th spot on lockdown for now as Larson tries to make something happen deeper in the field.
Corey Eliason closing back in on Cap Henry in turn number 4 as they work off at turn 4 now. Larson gets by Justin Peck into 1.
Good race back in the pack as Larson rails around the outside of Peck. That's the race for the 7th spot. Give it to Larson. He's got to get by Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 6th spot as Rico Abreu continues to stretch it out. They are jammed up at the back of the field, though, and lap traffic is going to present a challenge.
Yeah, the racetrack is full of cars. Right ahead of your race leader, Rico Abreu, goes to the top of turns 1 and 2. Robert Ballou, the first car he'll encounter down the back straightaway. Kerry Madsen still holding on to the 2nd spot. Cap Henry 3rd. The battle for 4th continues.
Tyler Courtney on the inside, then Awesome Energy drink number 7. Tyler Courtney and Corey Eliason on the outside in the Crouch Motorsports number 11 as they race for that 4th spot down the back straightaway. Rico has caught the back of the field. Robert Ballou and Brenham Crouch going to be the first 2 cars to go a lap down.
Kerry Madsen closing in on Rico Abreu down the back straightaway as they catch lap traffic. They're side by side there in turn 4. Battle for the lead in turn number 4.
Madsen got to him. Not really a place to go for Abreu as the racetrack is jammed up at all lanes. Rico trying to be patient and get by Robert Ballou. Shoves it to the inside of the lap car. He knows he's got to go. Madsen's right there.
He'll get by Ballou. He'll bring Madsen with him. They're side by side. Kerry Madsen getting by Robert Ballou. Rico Abreu continuing to lead. Down to the inside of Brenham Crouch. Madsen right behind him. Henry running in that 3rd spot. Tyler Courtney now to challenge for 3rd. Here comes Larson to the outside of the 71.
That's the race for 6. That's the spot Larson needs as everybody's on the bottom, and it's left the top lane for Larson, who's making it work. He's the only one all the way on the cushion, all the way around through 3 and 4. Larson makes a mistake, throws the nose over the cushion. We go yellow as one car slows. It's Buddy Kofoid.
Yeah, Buddy Kofoid was slow off at turn number 2 as he rolls right into the Indy Metal finishing work area.
Larson had finally got going on the high side of the racetrack in that race for 6 with Kevin Thomas Jr. I would imagine he did not want to see that yellow. 12 lap score, 28 to go. And the choose cone is out in the front stretch. Rico goes to the bottom. And it looks like Kofoid's headed back to the trailer.
He is. He just departed the Indy Metal Finishing's work area. Something in the motor was the word from the Roth Motorsports crew. So unfortunately, Buddy Kofoid won't go for that extra 10 grand.
Tough break. 2 weeks in a row. He's had one of the best cars and no results to show for it. Lights out, coming back to green. 28 to go. Rico Abreu and Kerry Madsen on the front row. 1st and 2nd on the racetrack. Rico's on it early. Green flag back out.
Rico gets out on him. Here comes Cap Henry way down low on the inside of 1 and 2 to get to the inside of Kerry Madsen. He'll do that. Puts Madsen back into the 3rd spot. Tyler Courtney running 4th, and 3 or 4 cars paddling for 5th off of 4.
Larson got a great run off the high side of 1 and 2, then went to the bottom in 3 and 4 and got tight. Jammed everybody up behind him, but he's got to the 5th spot, so he's got a little bit of breathing room in this championship fight. Seems to be able to maneuver his car just about wherever he wants to make speed.
Brady Bacon right behind Kyle Larson, then Corey Eliason behind him as they work through turn 3 and 4 now. Rico still out front. Cap Henry staying right there within striking distance in turn number 2.
Boy, what a story this would be if Cap Henry was able to get up there and sneak by Rico Abreu and steal this victory away. He's had a great night so far challenging Abreu as Cap goes right through the middle. The gap about 4 car lengths in the race for the lead.
Good battle up front. Rico stays on the top. Cap Henry working the inside of 1 and 2 really well now. Dives to the inside of turn number 4. Taking a look at the lead off of 4. Rico back around him on the outside. Here comes Cap Henry. Your race is for the lead.
Middle part of the racetrack working well at both ends of the speedway. See if Rico moves. He does. Down to the middle part to take away Cap Henry's line. That's where he's made the most speed through 3 and 4. Rico back to the top through 1, but Henry's there again.
Kerry Madsen settled into the 3rd spot in the 55. Down the back straightaway. Car way outside of the racetrack. Darren Nida off the track, comes right back in. We stay green.
Abreu started to get some separation between himself and Cap Henry running in that 2nd spot. Larson lost a spot. He's back to 6th. Brady Bacon has moved around him into the 5th position as the leaders once again start to approach the back half of the field and slower traffic. Cross flags right there, 20 down, 20 to go.
A few of those cars down on the bottom leaves the top side of the racetrack open for Abreu as they roll through 3 and 4. Cap Henry staying right there with him. Now Tyler Courtney, he'll begin to close in on Kerry Madsen. That could be the battle for 3rd.
They race down the back straightaway. Oh, one off the racetrack right in front of the leader, Abreu. He banged off the cushion, Abreu did, trying to avoid Brenham Crouch, and it brought Cap Henry right back to within striking distance in 1 and 2.
Now Abreu will get by Darren Nida down the back straightaway. Brenham Crouch just ahead of him. Lap traffic on the bottom and the top of the racetrack. Your leader with a lap car between he and Cap Henry. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson battling with Brady Bacon fiercely in 1 and 2.
And that's a spot Larson needs. He goes to 5th, so back around Brady Bacon and into that spot. Everybody's kind of migrated to the middle or bottom, and it's left the top to Larson all alone. He's been able to make some progress. They're all jammed up 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the bottom as Larson rips the top side.
Larson still up on the top of the racetrack. The field. Oh boy, big bounce there in turn number 3. Larson stays on the top. Here comes Tyler Courtney on the inside. Larson to the outside of Courtney for the spot. He'll get it off of turn number 2.
Now he's starting to make some progress. He needs to get around Darren Nida, the lap car that's kind of floating in no man's land here as Larson continues to march forward. Tyler Courtney would like to get up there. Yellow, turn 4. It's Brady Bacon, who was just inside the top 6. And it looks like maybe got over the cushion there in 3 and 4 and has come to a stop.
Well, you got to believe Kyle is happy to see the caution to get the lap car out of the way there as Nida was kind of stuck right in amongst the leaders.
So yellow with 14 to go for Brady Bacon. Larson's fast. He just can't really go anywhere. It's been every time he's kind of started to make progress, there's been lap traffic that has impeded a little bit of that progress, but he's done what he has to do. He's in 5th right now as a replay gets set to roll here on FloRacing. We'll tell you what happened to Brady Bacon, who again was just right there battling with Kyle Larson for the 5th spot. He had his banged into the ledge in 3 and 4, and around he went.
Kyle banged it pretty good coming into 3 there, just ahead of him.
It is getting tricky, both ends of the racetrack. And we'll have 14 to go once again. Rico has done everything right, has controlled all of his controllables. He's gotten through lap traffic. He's been patient. He's followed the racetrack in the groove that he kind of needs to be fast. But Larson's done the same thing and has just been able to slowly pick off cars one at a time and rides in that 5th spot as the choose will happen here on the front stretch. And interesting that Sunshine goes to the top there because he no doubt saw Larson getting ready to drive by him up there.
Real quickly, folks, 50-50 not claimed, 0994712, 0994712.
So the field lining up 2 by 2 here as the cone is removed from the front straightaway. Next time around, we should be back to green, 26 laps in the books. Rico Abreu, Cap Henry, side by side here for the restart. Kerry Madsen lining up 3rd, Tyler Courtney 4th, Kyle Larson up to 5th.
So see, this is where the choose is interesting because Larson has been making all his progress on the top. But if he chose the top, he would be restarting 6th, so he'd effectively be losing a position.
Right.
So what do you want here? Do you want the track position starting on the inside, or do you want your preferred groove on the outside lane, but you go back a spot? So
I think the track position is most important right now.
It seems to be. We'll find out here. Back to green we go. Rico gets a good jump. So does Kerry Madsen. That's the race for 2nd. He goes inside of Cap Henry and takes that spot away down the backstretch.
Cap Henry caps him right there. Oh boy, sideways right in front of the field. Trouble in turn 4. Look out. Cars climbing on top of each other. Red flag comes out. Cap Henry, Corey Eliason, and I believe Justin Sanders, the car right in the middle of the sandwich there. Chase Randall stopping down there to try to avoid the incident. Boy.
That was almost disastrous for the 57.
Yes, it was.
So we go red here with no laps scored, Chris.
And Cap Henry is facing the right direction, kind of the culprit of starting that melee. The crew is attention, or the track officials, including Brad Sweet, are looking at Justin Sanders, trying to see if that car can be pushed back off. And they're trying to have a little bit of issue steering that car. Meanwhile, Corey Eliason is headed directly toward the Indy Metal finishing work area. I don't see any damage on Cap Henry, but the big culprit of this is going to be Justin Sanders, and it looks like they're going to motion him to be pushed to the Indy Metal finishing work area. So we'll head that direction. It's about to get busy back there.
Rear end maybe knocked out of Eliason's car as it kind of wobbles off the racetrack, or bent perhaps. Here's a replay for those of you watching on Flow, and it starts with Cap Henry, who gets in and just taps the left rear of Kerry Madsen. And I don't know how Larson – well, a lot of times when you get on the left rear in these cars, they don't really steer all that well, and that's kind of what Larson had to do there, and somehow was able to hang a right and avoid that. As Sanders reaches the Indy Metal finishing work area over there off of turn number 3, and you see he's parked right next to the Eliason car as well. The rear end was wobbling on the 11. I'm not sure if that's a issue they'll be able to fix or not.
Well, you can hear it. Got hammers. We've got mallets. We've got a new right rear tire about to be mounted for Corey Eliason as they get the wheel wrench in there, and they'll get that loose. On the Macri 39M, the attention is on the right front. Also the left front as well. We'll try to get around and get a better view, but they're trying to get a new wing now on top of Corey Eliason. The Crouch crew has a brand new one. We've got a new right rear tire going on as well. And just a collision with Cap Henry as he pulled off the racetrack, pushed right into a four-wheeler. So crazy down here. Everybody got to keep their head on a swivel, but 3 cars in the work area. Cap Henry nearly took out a couple race team members, but it's all hands on deck down here in the Indy Metal finishing work area. Again, top wing going on for Corey Eliason. Still looking at Justin Sanders, 39M.
Tensions are getting high. The work area always a little testy. And it's a parking lot back there right now as all 3 of these cars try to diagnose exactly what's wrong and how they can fix it. And it looks like the first is going to be Cap Henry to back away. So work's still being done on the Sanders and Eliason car as we fire cars on the racetrack. It looks like maybe a bent nose wing for Sanders. And Eliason, looks like whatever they fixed the rear end wobble because they are circling around and going to push him off, and Sanders will join him. And we'll go single file here because we did not get a full lap in after the choose cone restart. So as we've done all year, this will be a single file start. And again, we'll have 14 to go. Larson's doing what he has to do right now to hold on to the points lead. And Rico's doing everything he can do to make it difficult on Kyle. Rico ready to go. Back on the gas. Green flag in the air.
Field into turns 1 and 2. Rico leading now. Madsen slides across the nose to Tyler Courtney for the second spot. Kyle Larson still running in that 4th position. Battle for second off of turn 4. Sunshine to the outside of Madsen into 1.
Madsen put the fade up on Courtney there in that race for the second spot and didn't really allow Sunshine to use the momentum he had from the outside, and now he drives in there and hits the left rear of Madsen. Larson says, thank you very much. Around the outside he goes. Your top two in the championship run first and second on the racetrack.
Larson gets two of them entering turn one. They go side by side for third now as they work into 3 and 4. Larson stays on the cushion. Madsen takes a look, can't get there. Larson holds on to it, sets his sights on your leader.
Rico Abreu has moved to the high side in 1 and 2 and still in that lower to middle lane through 3 and 4, but the outside momentum in the 3 and 4 end of the racetrack is starting to build. Larson is closing in on race leader Rico Abreu as Darren Nida hits the infield back in the pack.
Rico sees the traffic ahead. He goes to the bottom. Larson slingshots around the outside of turn number 4 up on the top of the racetrack. Down the front chute, closes within 6 car lengths as they race into turn number 2. Kerry Madsen still running third. Tyler Courtney fourth. Battle for fifth down the back straightaway.
Justin Peck on the inside of Kevin Thomas Jr. Chris Wyndham right there as well. Here's the race for the top 2 positions in the championship battle. Rico Abreu leading in the white 24. Larson running into the second spot in the white 57. Larson goes to the high side. Rico slides up. Here we go. Battle for the lead.
Race for the lead in turn 1. Down to the inside. Rico says no, drives back by him on the outside. Down the back to right. Kyle Larson right there running second. Within 4 car lengths now, your leader. He took a look. He's got something for him as they race into turn number 1.
6 laps to go right there. Rico moved up a lane in 3 and 4 all the way to the cushion. Now he goes back to the bottom here as lap traffic looms large. Battle for third and fourth behind him. They got the second, third, and fourth place cars throw a blanket over him as Tyler Courtney races inside Kerry Madsen.
Kerry Madsen shuts the door on Tyler Courtney entering turn number 1. Keeps Courtney at bay. Down the back chute now. Courtney squeaks her in there. Drives deep into 3. Looking to the inside of 4 to get by Madsen. Can't do it at the flag stand.
Robert Ballou going a lap down to Rico Abreu. This battle for third heats up again. Larson drove down and nearly collected Madsen. Here comes Larson inside, side by side with Rico Abreu for the lead in 3 and 4.
Lap traffic all over the racetrack. Right in front. The top 4 cars nose to tail as they race into 1. Rico back to the top of turn 2. Kyle Larson down low. Down the back straightaway. 2 car lengths. They both go to the top of 3 and 4. 2
laps to go right here. They've got to be perfect. Rico Abreu still trying to get around Robert Ballou, the lap car. Larson will go to the bottom. Rico to the high side allows him some separation as Courtney closes on Larson for second.
Through 3 and 4. They bang the cushion in turn number 4. White flag flies. 1 to go for Rico Abreu.
Larson not close enough right now to challenge. He's more worried about Tyler Courtney behind him in second. Down the back straightaway they go. Rico Abreu through 3 and 4. He'll win his 4th high limit race of the year, but the inaugural high limit sprint car champion is Kyle Larson with a 3rd place finish. Tyler Courtney got by him at the end to finish in the runner-up spot. But Rico Abreu scores the win and did everything he could. It's just not enough.
Kerry Madsen will finish in the 4th spot. Kevin Thomas Jr. 5th. Justin Peck 6th. Zeb Wise 7th. Chris Wyndham 8th. Ryan Timms 9th. And unofficially rounding out your top 10, the car number 97 is Scotty Thiel. But tonight, Rico Abreu is the winner and Kyle Larson is the champion.
Rico loves winning, and $23,000 in his pocket is nothing to turn your nose up at, no doubt. Chris, he's down in victory lane.
Well, race fans, what'd you think about that? The High Limit Sprint Car Series finale, the championship battle, but Rico Abreu ends it with 4 wins on the 2023 High Limit Sprint Car Series season. And man, what a battle through lap traffic. Kyle was coming, Tyler Courtney was on the move as well, but ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Rico Abreu! 13th win of the season as the fireworks come off here in Putnamville, Indiana, showering over victory lane. The entire Rico Abreu Racing crew, Ricky Warner, crew chief, and the rest of the team all down here. What a job. And what a fun battle. I mean, all season long between Rico, Kyle, the rest of our High Limit Sprint Car Series regulars, it has been something else. We'll get Rico over here to the front where he can stand in front of this beautiful K1 Race Gear High Limit Sprint Car Series feature trophy all lit up. Gus is here as well. There he is, Rico Abreu, ladies and gentlemen. And Rico, man, I know it's not a championship, but the way you drove tonight, lap traffic, Kyle's coming showing his nose, just walk me through just the mental capacity that you have to have on a technical racetrack like this to be consistent and not make a mistake.
Awesome racetrack. I knew it was going to come to us, man. Ricky and Zach and Brady, they did an unbelievable job in my race car, just made little adjustments as the night went on. That track gets difficult when it gets like that and the pace slows down, and just trying to judge pace off lap traffic, and you can never count, these guys behind you out, and they're always going to be charging. So it was just important to me to study kind of the race, how it played out, and know, if someone was challenging me, where they were running. So it was just important for me to move around while you're leading like that, because you can get it beat pretty quick. So just thankful, man. Thankful to be in this position. 4 high limit wins this year, and just consistency. I think that's 7 or 8 top 3s in a row for us, and it just shows, the magnitude of this team. So all of our partners, El Bandito, Tequila, Spankins Motorsports, I know they're all home. My family's home watching, and it's important that this car is up front. So we put a lot of work into this team, and to compete with these guys that, at a weekly basis like this it's a lot of pride in our shop to have these results.
We've talked all season what you and Ricky and this whole team have had, but whether it's a 3/8 mile, a half mile, a quarter mile, it doesn't matter. It seems like the consistency's there. What is it like as a race car driver when when you show up, you've got the car to beat?
It's a confidence booster for sure. And that's established in our team, and the confidence they have in me, and the trust I have in them. A lot of work goes on behind the scenes at the shop, and long hours, and it's important, when you get this far into a race season, that people, with all the hours that they take time to take little breaks. And, it's for us, everybody left the shop quite early last night and got a good night's rest. And we're racing on a Tuesday night here, which is really fortunate for race car drivers and team owners to be racing for this kind of funding on a Tuesday is unbelievable. So hats off to Brad, Kyle, JP, everybody that does an unbelievable job with this series. And, they definitely, are changing the game of the industry.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Rico Abreu, win number 4, and he does it in the High Limit Sprint Car Series finale. Now we're going to take the trek to visit with our top 3 of the race before we hand out some championship hardware to Kyle Larson. And coming home in the 2nd spot was the driver that Dylan and Tony talked about, had a heck of a battle with Kerry Madsen, and that was Tyler Courtney. I mean, elbows up. I mean, that was some good old hard racing. Walk me through, especially the back half of that race, you and Kerry going at it.
Yeah, it was tough to get by him there. I think he was probably mad at me because I got into him on the restart there on the backstretch, but I didn't expect him to come up in front of me like that, and I just didn't lift quite enough and got in his bumper, so he probably thought I was trying to spin him out, but I wasn't. And yeah, he made my life pretty hard there for the second half of that race there. But once I got by him, I felt like we were pretty good. I couldn't really run the top down there where Kyle and them were running, so I just pulled my wing back and committed to running the bottom down here, and we were able to squeak by him there for second. But congrats to Rico and their whole team, man. They've had one heck of a year, and congrats to Kyle on the championship. And I was glad to finally end the High Limit Series on a high note. Just the way these races have gone for us. But thanks to Kyle, Brad, JP, Tommy, Mike, everybody that's a part of this whole High Limit Series. It was a fun year. Had to miss a couple races with my injury, but every race I went to, it was really fun, and they put up some good money for us. And I felt like all the races were pretty damn good for the fans too as well. So thank you to everyone, and thank you to my whole team, Not Starting to Drink, LA's Custom Trailers, Z-Max, Jake, Luke, Cameron, Tim, Di, Richard, Jennifer, Tay, everyone at Custom Marshall Racing, man. It's a blast to be a part of it, and yeah, like I said, glad to end the High Limit Series on a high note.
Yeah, the black cloud is finally, I think, gone for Tyler Courtney. The High Limit Sprint Car Series comes home in the 2nd position here, the Hoosier. And rounding out your podium, of course, is your champion, but let's talk about the race. Kyle Larson from 7th. Sunshine got you there at the end, but it seemed like at the start of the race, very meticulous in how you picked your battles, wasn't forcing anything too soon, but then the high line opened up, especially in 3 and 4. Did you know that was go time?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that good where we were running, 7th or 6th there for a little while. The pace was just a little bit slow, so I couldn't get the load in the car that I needed, and was able to dodge that wreck in 3 and 4, and that gave us some track position. And then Sunshine and Kerry got together, and we were able to get to 2nd. Then I could air it out a little bit and felt a lot better. Was able to close in on Rico a good bit, but just tried to pull the trigger maybe a little too soon and show my nose in one, and he got going up top. But I was okay with that. I didn't really want to get battling, especially the line I was running in 3 and 4. It was so curved up in 3 and 4 and exit of 4, and it was easy to make mistakes. So I knew I was comfortable where I was at to win the overall championship. But yeah, no, it was still going to be tough to get by him. I was trying. Don't get me wrong, I was trying, but I just pulled the trigger a little too soon. So he got changed in his line, and it kind of choked me up. And then we caught traffic, and I actually had a good line working there in 1 and 2. Just I could see Kerry coming across, and I got nervous that we were going to meet in the middle once and end up crashing. So just kind of had a tuck in line at that point, and Sunshine was able to get by. He had a really good car too, so I think had him and Kerry not got together, it would have been a great race up front between all 3 or 4 of us. So great track. I thought it ended up really good, and the bottom was thin. It was really hard for me to run down there. I was really bad at running the bottom, but could air it out up top a little bit. So congrats to Rico. That was a really good job he did again, and getting another big win. So congrats to him and his team.
All right, we'll let you go take care of podium celebrations, and then, of course, hand out that championship hardware. So Kyle Larson, Tyler Courtney, and Rico Abreu, your top 3 here in the High Limit Sprint Car Series finale at Lincoln Park Speedway. Dylan and Tony will let you kind of recap the night before we start handing out the really good stuff to Kyle Larson and Paul Silva.
Absolutely. Pits are open to race fans. If you'd like to get back in the pits or if you'd like to stay for championship celebrations, the option is yours. The final points difference, 7 points that Larson has in the books over Rico Abreu, with Corey Eliason, Justin Peck, and Chase Randall rounding out your top 5 in points. Let's go ahead and give you the full field rundown. Rico Abreu, the winner. Tyler Courtney finishes 2nd. Kyle Larson 3rd. Kerry Madsen was 4th. Kevin Thomas Jr. 5th. Justin Peck 6th. Zeb Wise was 7th. Chris Windham finished 8th. Ryan Timms, the Tezos hard charger, plus 16 to finish in the 9th spot. That's his best run of the year also. And Scotty Thiel rounds out the top 10.
11th is Ayrton Genitin. Brenham Crouch is 12th. J.J. Hickle finishes 13th. 14th goes to Parker Price Miller. 15th is Jake Swanson. Brady Bacon 16th. Connor Morrell 17th. Cap Henry 18th. Justin Sanders 19th. And C.J. Leary 20th.
And your back 5, Chase Randall finishes 21st. Robert Ballou is 22nd. Darren Nida was 23rd. Corey Eliason 24th. And Buddy Kofoid finishes in the 25th spot. As we said, 7 points, the final difference. And Larson, Abreu, Eliason, Peck, and Randall, your top 5 in driver points. Ryan Timms finishes 6th, Justin Sanders 7th, Anthony Macri, Dusty Zomer, and Brent Marks going to round out the top 10 officially in driver points. And Macri Motorsports takes the 3rd spot in the owner's points battle. So we talked about that over the course of the feature with those 2 cars having problems back in the work area. And the 39M crew going to be awarded 3rd place points with the 11 car in the 4th spot in the Indy Race Parts 71 car, finishing 5th in owner points. And here comes the Paul Silva 57 into victory lane for championship celebrations.
Kyle Larson's going to get out here in victory lane as the championship trophy for the first ever High Limit Sprint Car Series season is placed on the right front. Paul Silva is there. Let's get Kyle around to the front because, first of all, check out this trophy, but probably even cooler is this awesome ring from Southern Recognitions. We'll let you open it up. Thing's heavy. It'll weigh your finger down a little bit, but look at that shine here in victory lane. What do you think about this piece?
It's pretty sick. It was my idea to get the rings. They're really cool. I've started collecting from winning NASCAR races that have them. So I thought it'd be a cool idea to introduce that to this series. Southern Recognition, they do an amazing job. So I'm trying to figure out how to open this. It
opens.
Yeah, it opens, and there's a sprint car with some cash in there. So wow. No, it's cool. I mean, obviously I wanted to win it, so it feels really good, but. It was going to be pretty special, too, if Rico could win it, because this thing's awesome.
Let's talk about this season just in general. I mean, how special is it for you? You look at your career in the Cup Series championships and those wins on Sundays, but to have a Sprint Car Series championship, a touring Sprint Car Series championship, that was something you wanted to have for a while.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't ever get the opportunity to race for points in sprint cars, and I was able to thankfully win an ARC championship in 2010 with the Kadings, and really haven't got to chase points ever since then in dirt stuff. So although it was a short series, I think 11 races, it still is intense. I think when it's a short season like that, you really got to be on your game and can't make mistakes, especially when you're battling guys like Rico who are up front every night, no matter what track, what style of track, what series they're at. They're going to be hard to beat. So feels good. He had some issues there at Lakeside with I can't remember, a flat or something. So that ultimately took him out. But still we had to be on our game. He was chipping away out of the last 5 or 6 races. So fun battle and cool to win the inaugural one. Hopefully I can get the chance to keep doing this and my schedule works out where I can make all these midweek races work and try and get another one next year.
Before we let you go celebrate this season as a whole, what grade would you give it on an inaugural season? You and Brad, JP, the whole crew have put in so much work. What grade would you give it? Because obviously, big things are still ahead.
Well, I think we've gotten better as the season's gone on. I think we've gotten more efficient for sure, and that's a huge thank you and congrats to Brad, JP, Tommy, Mike Hess, everybody, Rachel. There's Brian Walker, you guys, everybody on the flow side of things to make it happen and make it work. So we couldn't do without them. All the sponsors too. We have so many people supporting this series and the fans especially too. Here at the racetrack means a lot to us, but also at home. Our viewership's been amazing this year. So that's been really good, and hopefully we can continue to grow. So, like I said, we've gotten better as the year's gone on. We've definitely had our hiccups, as any new company would, in their first year. So, overall, I feel like we've excelled and exceeded at least my expectations. I know, Brad is a perfectionist, so you always want to be better, but we just got to continue to get better. That's the goal.
We had some leftover fireworks. Congratulations, Kyle. You're 2023 champion of the High Limit Sprint Car Series, showing off the bling here in Victory Lane. $30,000, of course, and also a Hasty Bake Grill as well. And want to get a quick shout-out to Paul Silva. Paul, congratulations. I know you hate interviews, but why don't you just show off your ring real quick? Just show off that ring real quick. Where's our camera at? Oh, he's over here. Does yours have cash in it, too? Yeah, it does. All right. Congratulations. Paul Silva, man of many words. We can't get him on TV, but hey, he's your winning car owner here with the 57.
Awesome. Tony, it's been fun this year, as we talked about it kind of all night, but it's been an awesome time getting to work with you and just travel up and down the road and watch some sprint car races again.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun to get to work with you and Chris and be a part of a traveling series. I mentioned to you earlier in the year, this was something I never thought I would get to do. So getting a chance to be a part of this season especially, just really special and really honored to be a part of it and to be a part of everything on Flow has been great.
Absolutely. I'd like to thank all the voices you heard throughout the year here on the High Limit Series. My dad, Vince Welch, Ben Shelton, and of course, Chris Wilner and Tony Bachhoven. And big thanks to our producer, Tyler McKim, and the entire FloRacing staff for getting us through the entire year flawlessly. For our entire crew here at the High Limit Series, my name is Dylan Welch. Thanks for joining us all year long, and we'll see you next year at a racetrack down the road.